Welcome to Enterprise Services Client Briefing Centre. So let's dive deeper in then, and Joe, if I can ask you first of all, what role can apps play in business processes and customer experience changes?
Yeah, well, the apps are critical, and so they play a big role in that migration. And in the customer experience, they're absolutely front and center. Whether it's on your mobile device, it's on a PC screen, it's on a tablet, a kiosk someplace, that customer experience is dominating and it's changing rapidly. One of the things we're recognizing is that to enable that customer experience to change and integrate to the back end requires a complex but robust set of API services or integration services to that back end. There's a couple of examples of that customer experience transformation that I give you. One of them is a global fashion designer who sort of flipped their own paradigm. Instead of bringing buyers from around the world to the runway to see the annual fashion show, they did that as well, but they enabled buyers all over the world via tablets, via screen, via video, to watch, view the show in live time, real time, and to make their purchase decision on the spot. This was flipping the paradigm to enable, many more buyers around the globe to see the fashion as it was exposed, and to place their order integrated to the customer's inventory management systems in the background through that API management to enable real-time delivery of goods to the buyer wherever they were in the globe.
And the fashion industry is one example, but you also work with airlines as well.
Yep, airlines is another great example. As we all know, if you're a traveler at all, you know that you're using your mobile app to check in, to buy meals on plane, to upgrade your seat, to change seats and so on. One of the important parts of enabling that customer experience is, again, the integration layer to the reservations and ticketing systems, the revenue management and the back end of the airline. Those are very complex and real-time systems for the airlines. And we have a SOA layer, a service-oriented architecture, or a set of APIs that we service and maintain for airlines around the world to enable that customer experience front end to integrate to the back end real-time systems.
But how do existing enterprise applications, how do businesses know that that's helping them go digital?
Enterprises all over the world have a set of legacy applications. They either have custom-built or bespoke applications that run their back-end offices, or they've invested in enterprise software to run those back-end systems, whether it's finance and accounting, supply chain, revenue management, or other types of applications. Almost every software vendor on the planet is moving their applications really quickly to software as a service or software in the cloud. And for those enterprises, HP Enterprise Services has a great capability of keeping track with the enterprise software providers in their migration to the cloud and to enable customers to make that transformation. For those enterprise applications which are not really serviced by the ERP package vendors or software package vendors that have custom bespoke back-end systems, we have a set of services to help them break down that legacy back end into smaller, more modular components and migrate the pieces that make sense out to the fringes of the cloud and the pieces that don't make sense to keep in that back end.
Roger Douglas,
yes.
You're nodding in agreement.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're dying to get started. Tell us then about developing those hybrids. How do you tread that line between control but flexibility?
That's a great question, Paula. It's interesting. If you think of hybrid as the fact that you've got traditional data center along with the various forms of cloud, what we'll call cloud landing zones, you need to have them all working in harmony and working together. But then if you think about what everybody's been talking about before with digitization, I simplify digitization to be take people and paper out of the process to either make it more efficient or do it in a completely different manner. You can apply that same concept over into your infrastructure. Because if you think about it, when it comes to bringing those cloud landing zones into play, you want to make it easy for both your technical users and your business users to consume IT services. And it's almost like taking one of the first principles of supply chain management, which is take your people out of the supply chain, because every time somebody touches an item as it goes through the supply chain, it adds cost. So if you can automate and simplify the provisioning of IT, right, that's how the infrastructure starts to support what Joe and Sudeep and Martin and Michael have all been talking about. Because a lot of times that ends up being the roadblock. A company wants to do this, but then it ends up in these long provisioning lead times with IT, and it just becomes a problem. So where we're helping clients with that is bringing to bear solutions in cloud service broker capability, which in essence gives an umbrella across the landscape so end users can provision in a no-touch fashion or a low-touch fashion, can provision the IT services they need to consume. Another part of this, and this is where the legacy systems come into play, we're helping greatly simplify the ability of moving those legacy systems off of the traditional data center and into cloud, what we call enterprise solutions on demand. And SAP is one of our first target partners that we're working with, where we're putting capabilities in play that allow our customers to, say, make a copy of an existing SAP environment or add more services to that, elastic services to the environment, or even suspend and resume an instance of SAP based on when it's needed for the business, and to do that in an automated fashion. And that could take a run book, as it's called in the industry, of maybe 200 to 250 pages of instructions to make one of those things happen, and we can actually bring that down to where it's done in minutes and done in an automated fashion, so you get a predictive result and a higher quality of service.
So that's why hybrid infrastructure is so important. How do you make sure you've got the keys to that being an absolute success?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think at an executive level, it starts with understanding what business outcomes are you trying to drive. And by business outcomes, simply stated, it's what are your cost, growth, and risk objectives. Because depending on what you're trying to do across those three dimensions, the solution may look radically different. So making sure that business and IT are lined up as far as what they're trying to achieve then helps us start to put the right solution together with the client. On top of that, this is really about setting the organization up to work in, as Gartner likes to call it, a bimodal IT fashion, where certain things still need to be done in the rigor of, traditional IT, but when it comes to bringing, say, the mobile apps together and bringing them forward, you need to be able to move at a much faster pace. I've heard people refer to it as fail fast or succeed fast, right? And so you need to understand that this is a change in behavior and process. It's not about technology. You've got to teach the organization how to operate at both those speeds.
Joe, a final word from you if we can. Fail fast or succeed fast, is that the watchword?
Yeah, that is the watchword, and the real objective of failing fast is to capture the learnings from the failure, apply it to your next generation of services, whatever that might be, whether it's infrastructure or applications or data or analytics or whatever it is, and improve the service in real time.
So excited about the future then, Roger?
Absolutely.
Everyone's got to grab the bull by the horns?
Well, you either do this or
It's
your
fate.
competition's going to
It's
do
fate.
it and you're going to lose.
Right.
One of the two.
Competition's going to be in there without you, yeah.
Right.
Roger, thank you. Roger Douglas and Joe Paulsen, thank you,
Thank you.
gentlemen,
Thank you,
both
Paula.
very much indeed. Thank you.